Well, hi folks, and welcome to Art Tips with John, the show that teaches you not only how to build a successful art business, but also how to unleash your creative talent. I am your host, John Morris, the painter of memories, and this show is presented to you by our sponsors, Outreach Art. They are the best at what they do because they understand their students, their struggles, their anxieties, and their difficulties when it comes to learning art. Welcome to today's show, and boy, we've got a really awesome show for you today. Today's question comes from Brad in Carlisle, and it's this: John, why is it important to have the right people around me? We're going to answer that and so much more in today's show, so welcome. Okay folks, well, we've got a great question in today, as we said at the top of the show. Why is it important to have the right people around you? I'm going to use an example of teenagers. We've either all been a teenager, are a teenager, or we know and have kids that will be teenagers. Have you ever heard of a situation or been involved in a situation yourself where, you've had a friend that said something to you, and as soon as they've said something to you, your gut instinct has been a little bit like, ooh, I shouldn't do that, ooh, that kind of thing. And you know instantly, if you do what they say, it's going to alter the path of your life, okay? And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's smoking or vaping these days, whether it's stealing, okay? Most people have been in that situation where the person said something to them and they think, oh. Now, what happens if that person follows through on what their friend is suggesting? Their entire life is altered. If it's what we call giving yourself away. If you go and have sex for the first time, things change within you. If you, pick up a cigarette for the first time, things change within you. The first time that you do your first drug, things change within you. Your first drink, the first time you take something. And the first time you might get away with it. But what tends to happen then afterwards is people are watching. Okay, paranoia maybe sets in a little bit more. And it really alters who you are. But it alters the perception of those around you. I digress. So we're now going to apply that theory into your art business. Imagine, for example, and you've either been there or you are there right now. You're just starting out, you're an inexperienced artist. Maybe you have been to art school or art college, you know how to paint, you know how to do a lot of amazing things, but you've no idea about the business behind it, how businesses run, how to market, how to sell, how to create Facebook ads, how to deal with difficult customers, all those kind of things. Now, what do you think would happen if you got the bad people or bad advice around you and they're saying, well, you need to do this, and this? What do you think of that? How far do you think your business is going to go then? Not very far, okay? Now, it can be really difficult to find the right people. Folks, first and foremost, I am not putting my hand up and saying, yep, you need to trust me, you need to listen to me because I'll keep you safe, even though I will. All I ask is that you listen to my teaching, listen to what I'm saying, and figure out for yourself, does this make sense? So most people then ask, well, John, how do I know I can trust you? I see a lot of people in a nice suit. I haven't got my suit on today. It's actually a really hot day here in Scotland. But I see a lot of people in a really nice suit, that can talk the talk, that can do promos, that can, they've got everything going for them. Why should I listen to you? Okay, I've been running my own art business for 17 years. When things changed in 2017 with online selling, we went and built the biggest art school in South Asia. Now, I know that may not sound like an amazing thing and really incredible, but we did, okay? We're now developing Outreach Art a lot more. Which is one of our sponsors, by the way. It's my company, it's one of our sponsors. It's kind of crazy. But we're developing our own company where people can come and learn online either how to paint and learn some amazing art courses, the history behind all these artists and things, or how to learn how to build a successful art business. And we've got courses and memberships that are in development for each option. Another reason I would encourage you to listen to me is because I've got 17 years worth of experience both in business and in art, okay? I've learned from some of the very best that the world has to offer. I've basically read everything that Tony Robbins, Victor Antonio, and Donald Miller have to offer. Okay, now these are all marketing people or sales gurus or teaching you about the world of business. I've had my own business coaches throughout the years that have worked with me tirelessly, teaching me how to sell, teaching me how to build a website, teaching me how to do these things. So why is this important? Well, it's important for three reasons. There are people on Facebook at the moment, and I'm not going to name names, you know who they are if you've been on certain pages, okay? But there are people out there that will teach you, right, I'll teach you how to sell your artwork. Well, that's fine. Okay, I can teach you how to sell your artwork. You lower the price, and this is what some people do. You lower the price to $30, £25, you post it on a few buy and sell sites, you start getting interest, and the chances are, because the prices are so low, that you will actually sell your artwork. Now, you'll sell it frequently. So, people do this, and it's a mistake. Now, I want to ask you a simple question right here, and you can just answer yes or no wherever you're watching this. Would you rather earn £25 for an art piece that's taken you maybe 10 or 20 hours, or would you rather earn £750? It's a no-brainer. Personally, I want to earn the £750 because at the end of the day, it means that you're earning more, you can pay your bills, you're able to feed your family, what else? You're able to save and buy a home, you're needing to do less work, which means you can be more creative, and you're making a bigger reputation for yourself as an artist. Folks, there are folks out there that will just teach you, I'll teach you how to sell your art for 30 quid, for 40 quid. Okay, $50, $60, whatever it is. Okay, the problem is they don't teach you how to build a brand, how to market, how to develop a sales technique and a funnel in order to actually gain your customers and your clients. They just teach you how to sell artwork really, really cheaply. And the problem is now the internet is saturated, absolutely saturated with artists and art teachers selling their artwork and expertise so low it is ridiculous. If you are watching this and you've stayed to, literally the last 8 or 9 minutes, if you're watching this, you're watching it because you want to learn how to build a successful art business. You want to learn how to actually build a business that, we're maybe not talking about millions, but we're talking enough where you can actually pay your rent every month, that you can, buy food every month, that you're able to look after your son, your daughter, your husband or wife, whatever. And that is why it's so important to have the right people around you, because folks, let me tell you, if you've got £20,000, I'm just throwing this out, as hypothetically. If you've got £20,000, $25,000, and you say, right, I want to market my artwork and I'm going to spend $10,000 in doing this. You can blow $10,000 like that, okay? It goes really, really quickly. Now, you may have absolutely nothing to show for it at the end. I would rather that you put that $10,000 into many other things. First of all, buying an art course. Secondly, if you do, find a course like ours, How to Build a Successful Art Business. There's probably others out there as well, where you pay X amount and you've got the course right there. Okay, I would rather you actually you spend that little bit more money on art supplies, that you actually developed it, that you built on your teaching and your knowledge and your understanding of how to do this, why it's important to build your business, as opposed to, well, I'm just going to sell my paintings. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So your homework for today is I want you to look at who is currently advising you in your life regarding your business. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. I had one of my students, her name was Barbara. Very lovely lady, a little bit nervous, and she would come to our art classes when we very first began the art school about 4 or 5 years ago, okay? And she would paint some stunning paintings. I mean, for a beginner painting, a beginner painter, she was very, very good, okay? And then what she'd do, she'd go home to a sister who was the most negative, miserable, just cynical person, I think, on the face of the planet. I genuinely believe that. And she'd say, well, so-and-so, I don't know her name, said Debbie. So Debbie, what do you think about my artwork? And Debbie would come back, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, and this, that, and the other. And Barbara would go from being up here and feeling elated and really excited about what she was doing to down here and just really miserable, hated her artwork and so on and so on and so on. She would message me almost to the exact hour every single week after we'd finished the art lessons, saying, well, I don't think I'll come back because I'm just not that good and whatnot. And I'm like, you being for real? And eventually I found out that she had been messaging her sister and so on and so on. And I just said to her one day, and this was in front of the class, we were just chatting, and I said, just out of interest, is your sister an artist? And she says, no, she knows nothing about artwork. Then why are you asking her? You know, that would be like trying to ask a non-astronaut what it's like being in space. It is so important, folks, that you get the right people around you, because they're either going to make or break your art business and your art career, and they're either going to be a blessing or they're going to suck you dry. And I want to see you guys succeed. I know you want to see yourself succeed, because it's great for your confidence, it's great for your motivation, it's also great to actually feed your family. Because the final thing I just want to tell you guys, you know, when people say, oh, well, you know, you could just go get a job somewhere else. Folks, look at what we try to do for a living, okay? A really wise man said this recently, and I want to reiterate to you as we close off the show. Look at what we try to do for a living. You've got people who basically live a lot of the time in isolation from the outside world, painting pictures with the hope of becoming a famous artist, okay? Some of us are not right in the head. You know, we're really not. We couldn't survive out there in the outside world trying to do a regular 9-to-5 job or a shift work or whatever, or being around people. This, for a lot of us, is our only option of making money and actually figuring this out. So, you know, when people say, you know, you can just go ahead and do something else, I want you to get out of that mindset of, oh, well, there's always a plan B, there's always a contingency plan. Because for a lot of you guys and girls, I know there isn't. For me, there wasn't. When I got sick in 2012, I knew I had to do something. And this business became, you know, my main focus. I want to ask you the final question, folks. Is it the person that succeeds the most? Is it the person that's fighting for their life, or the person that's fighting for another job? Answer that question and you will actually know then what your mentality needs to be. Your obvious answer should be it's the person that's fighting for their life, because at the end of the day, you know, if you haven't got the money to pay the rent, you're out on the street. If you haven't got the money to pay food, you're going to struggle. You know, and do you understand why it's so important that every single thing that you do in a business aspect is really, really well thought out? No knee-jerk reactions or anything like that. It is really, really important. I know we've gone over time a little bit here today, but I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has been a real blessing to you guys. I hope you understand a little bit more as to why it's vital that you get the right people around you. Please feel free to share this message and this video with people that you feel that is going to be, that's going to benefit from it, of course. And until next time, I have been your host, John Morris. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Please feel free to share this with your friends, your family, whoever you think it'll be a bonus to and a blessing to and beneficial to. And you can sign up to our mailing list as well. I'll put the link in the chat bar. Because we would love to work with you. There's so many things that are going on right now. We've got brand new courses at outreachart.org, both for teaching and learning how to paint, but also for how to build a successful art business, which is what I know you guys that are watching this, that are artists, want to do. Until next time, folks, I've been your host, John Morris. This has been Art Tips with John. And don't forget, this has been brought to you by our sponsor, Outreach Art. They are the best at what they do because they understand their students' struggles, anxieties, difficulties, and everything else. And their courses are made basically with their students in mind. Until next time, take care, God bless, and I'll see you soon.